on the SRHR, and then GPV, and the other one on mental health accessibility services and how we go about it. So anyone can just react to both comment and question.
Okay, thank you for those questions and comments. I think I agree with her on this issue of inclusivity, marginalization. So, like for me, the greatest digital wellness issue really is the inequity within the school sector, where there are schools that lack, they don't even have the basics, and other schools have excess. In other countries out there, an education offered in, for example, in Kenya, Lodwar, is the same education offered in Wajir, the same education offered in Nairobi and Kisumu, because the schools are all the same, really, even in the constructions. So for me, resources have to be balanced in some way, and the silos that you operate in the sense that some schools are called national, others are sub-county, is a big one. So it connects with the issue of informal settlements in a way. So I'll just advocate that we need to have some push to enable every learner in Kenya have what it takes. In fact, if it was not for CBC, the learners out there in the rural areas would not know what STEM is. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, just to react on the comment and the question, inclusivity is very important, and in our programming we're already doing this. For news, live production, we are already having sign language interpreters for some of these. In terms of the experts coming on board, we are youth television, and we always want to balance this with people who have experience in the field. So again, this is how we are ensuring inclusivity. In the programming, for example, on our end, we have a variety of shows. We have a morning show, which can tackle topics across the board: leadership and governance, mental health, sexual health, etc. We have technovation, which is majorly depending on digital media and how digital innovations are shaping up. So on our end, we are really trying this, but again, always open to such kind of comments and even additions on how we can go better to ensure inclusivity happen. On how to balance the harm and success of social media, I want to say as a campus media, we've benefited mostly from getting our audience online. The TikToks, the live Facebook, and YouTube has really ensured that our audience have our content at their fingertips. So people don't have to wait to go see news at 7 anymore. These updates, you're already getting them there. But again, on how to balance it out, you also have a whole lot of information online. So whatever you are searching for, you might get it, or you might get prompts to lead you to something else. So this is where now we are insisting on you need to be careful and watch which platforms you're going to at what particular time, and how you can just protect yourself from those unwanted pop-ups which might lead you to a platform you don't need. Thank you.
I'll just quickly touch on the point that you raised on how you balance social media, the fact that it's opened up access for mental health care. Indeed, there were a lot of people who would not have gotten that help. We know that even ChatGPT, people are using that as a personal therapist, right? And we are not downplaying the benefits of digital technologies, of emerging technologies, but what we're saying is that there must be safeguards in place, and that's where our job as regulators, policymakers, really comes into play. And then all obviously collaborating together to make sure that we're advocating for packages that cover for mental health. We've really seen an increase in the prevalence of it, particularly among our young people. So what can we even do to move from the curative aspect so that we're promoting well-being, so that we're not waiting for it to get to the point where we're talking about suicide ideation as well. in terms of packages that cover wellness, identifying burnout, identifying stresses, having these peer community groups. And while the digital technologies have their role to play, we also need to ensure that we have that hybrid mix where people still want that human connection, because as great as technology is, it doesn't have that human empathy, so we have to balance it both.
Yeah, so particularly to your question, there was an aspect of cost. It's very expensive. So I would say, especially us as an organization, what we are doing is we are supporting access to resources. So for instance, unfortunately, one of the panelists was not here, Mr. Melvin. Is one of the people that we actually give a platform so that they can be able to dispense psychological or mental trainings within the platform, right? So we are really trying to support that through free access, so that in case you are looking for that content, we're able to get it at no charge. But also, I feel like it's a matter of partnerships, it's a matter of organizations coming into a reality that they can be able to support initiatives. For instance, even through webinars. Webinars nowadays is a very common and cost-effective way to be able to dispense some of this information. So I feel like organizations should come out and publicize webinars on digital hygiene, so that all this information is accessible quite cost efficiently. But also the balancing between the good and the bad. I would want to comment on that by saying this. When we are in school, there's a very common CRE question that went like this. Mr. Ouma or Mr. Juma, whatever the name the question used, picked some 50 shillings note. What was the best thing for them? How can you help him so that, and he kept it, for example, in his pocket. How can you help him best, right? Or another question went like this. There is an increase in crime, stealing in a particular area. What is the best remedy, right? Is it building more jails? Is it building more police stations? That definitely cannot be the solution. The solution was always educate, right? And education meant giving back power to the person affected, so that if you're able to educate yourself on the bad things, you're able to now streamline or rather lean on the good side of social media. So if, for example, you have a TikTok account, there are two things you can be able to do with it. Either some good content or some bad content. If you are empowered, you will definitely go and do the good content. So I feel like we should empower the youth so that they can be able to have the ultimate decision. And we, of course, believe in the youth that they will make the right decision, right? So as I finalize on that, a pen, when you're given a pen, right? A pen is a good thing. You can be able to write a thank you note to someone. You can be able to gift it, again, pass it on, right? But also, if someone did something bad to you, you can use the same pen to do what? To injure them, right? So I feel like the power is in your choice. And I think we should really focus on educating and to empower.
Okay, thank you for those reflections. I'm sure during the day we can further discuss and elaborate on that. So now that we've heard from the panel, we've had the questions, I'll just wind up and give a summary of what we've spoken about. And then I am aware we are standing between you and the tea break, so I'll just make it very quick. So some key takeaways. Dr. Brown reminded us that in our push to digitize and promote STEM, we must not neglect emotional toll on children, especially those in under-resourced settings. Innovation must be balanced with inclusion and mental safety. Dr. Jean emphasized the role of national policy and PPPs in embedding mental wellness into Kenya's digital health and education agenda. Skill and sustainability depend on collaboration. We are always saying collaboration is the new innovation. Bonface offered a media perspective, pointing to the psychological strain caused by digital comparison and online pressures, and the opportunity for campus media to reshape narratives and support youth resilience. Alex has highlighted the burnout experience by educators and the need for tech platforms like Learnademy to go beyond tools to become part of the wellness solution for teachers navigating constant change. So, the call to action today is clear. If we want digital transformation to truly empower youth, we must embed mental wellness into its core. Let's continue to work together to create digital environments that are not only smart, but safe, inclusive, and mentally nourishing. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to interacting with each of you as the day goes on. So over to you, MC.